Hey guys, welcome to Dow Jones Futures Review. I was just going over my last video I posted Friday morning for the setups I was looking for, and unfortunately it looks like it froze when I started explaining the setups. So real quickly, I'm going to go into what I was looking for Friday morning around 8:30 when I posted, and then what we ended up getting. The first setup I was looking for was a 46.93 reclaim. That would require this level right here to get accepted and reclaimed. The next setup was a 46.75 dip and recovery, and the last setup was a 46.60 fail breakdown. This right here signifies a low. So at 8:30, we had already once um, pushed above here and started trying to knock on the door of 93. Now in hindsight, I do believe um, it was still a good idea of 93 reclaim, but because I also had a major level up here and we had a bunch of lows here, the honest truth is the better setup would have been the reclaim of 47,000 at this point to get further upside. But you would have still been okay taking the proper reclaim of 46.32 later on, as you can see. But we never got that. What we did end up getting was we got a kick sell right at the open around 9:30. Dip and recovery exactly of 46.75. We just undercut it, dipped and recovered it. That was a great setup and that played out well. You can see how we tried bouncing at the level, ended up did undercutting and bouncing, selling back down and then pushing back up. That's a perfect little dip and recovery with volatility on the morning candle. That worked out great. So if someone wanted to take the quick points right there, you would have been done for the day. If you missed that, um, the next setup was the 46.60 fell breakdown. As you can see, after that dip and recovery, we tried to reclaim 93 and it rejected. I did end up taking the position here and I did end up getting stopped out. That was my fault for rushing. I noticed right away and I took the loss right around when it bounced under this low right here around 10:30. However, I was patient and I waited and we got a couple different setups here. First, we got the exact setup I was looking for. 46.60 fail breakdown. We undercut it by a point, and then shot right back up. One could have entered it multitude of ways. We held for 15 minutes above this low for like a couple points, so one could have longed around 46.64. We also pushed through, completely back tested this level, came back down and started pushing back up. And one could have also longed on the push back up. Afterwards, which there's another setup right here, a failed breakdown of this level. You can see how we rejected it at 11:15, tagged it once at 12:15 for acceptance, and then we came right back up 15 minutes later at 12:45 and pushed up. One could have longed a couple points, a point above, honestly, this level, and that worked out great. We had a little back test at 145 exactly of that level. This time through, we went right through 46.93. Obviously, here the acceptance was perfect. Sold straight down, came back up, pushed through. If you missed that in the rush, then we got a back test that held at 315. You could have longed right back when it closed, and then that worked out great. This upper level here had also was a great setup in the sense that if you weren't okay with a 93 setup reclaim, if you wanted to wait for this one, we sold through, accepted, came down and started pushing back up. You can go long around 345 and we hit the target of the day and we closed exactly at my target. We sold from this area, we came back to this area. We just gapped up now on the market open. I need to set up my levels for this evening and tomorrow. But right now, the obvious setup is dip and recovery of this level, but it's pretty close to the recent highs, so I would prefer not to take it. I probably would be looking for some type of major level in this area right here. That could be potentially a support, but ideally I'm looking at the failed breakdown over here at 46.93 as the A plus setup. That probably goes as low as this area before coming back up to reclaim the zone, and I think that will be the A plus setup tonight or tomorrow morning, hopefully. If we do sell more, probably this low is what I'm looking for. Otherwise, a dip in recovery over here where we bounce and recover this level is still the ideal setup. So let's see what we get, but be back with more soon.